Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome one and all to AusCERT2016, ubiquitous. My name's Adam Spencer, and it's a pleasure to be your MC over the next couple of days for this celebration of cybersecurity, this meeting of malware murderers, this homecoming of hack heroes here at the all-new venue of the Marriott at Surfers Paradise. Lovely to see you all here. Can I start by acknowledging the traditional lands on which we meet today? Those are the Bundjalung people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. You've had your couple of days of training, and now we're launching into 3 days of conference mayhem. Some amazing guest speakers, some great breakout parallel sessions, and the all-important coffee carts just out there in the foyer. To get us underway, please welcome to the stage AusCERT General Manager Thomas King. Here he is.
Good morning. Thanks everyone for coming. So I'll just take about 9 minutes of your time to update you all on what AusCERT is doing and what we're seeing and how things are going. So membership is always an interesting topic. Membership is growing, and it's growing strongly. Obviously, most companies around Australia are starting to take cybersecurity, well, at least pay attention to it. Sometimes after they've been hacked, sometimes before. But we're seeing growth in membership across the country and across essentially every industry type. So AusCERT has grown 61% since July 2014, and we continue to grow just over a member every week. So for AusCERT, that's fantastic growth. We're now well over 300 members. Historically, we'd always been around 200 members. We're well into the 300s. And as you can see there, we've got great coverage across industry types, company sizes, government, commercial, education, healthcare, financial, insurance. So thank you to all those companies who've joined us. And we will continue to work hard on providing you services which provide you excellent value for money. What we're seeing and doing. So we launched a new service last year called the Member Security Incident Notifications, which actually took all the threat intelligence we were getting from a number of closed and open sources across the internet and across a number of companies. And we've actually bundled that into something you can get every day if you've got vulnerable services. We've sent out hundreds of thousands of them. More than 18,000 unique IPs have been detected, whether they're compromised hosts, things like Poodle, drone bots, OpenDNS services, SSDB, you name it, we've seen it, and members have done an absolutely fantastic job of reducing their attack surface. So I want to thank all the members for doing that, and we run regular reports now across the membership of what members' attack surface look like from the internet and how members are going in terms of making themselves harder to attack. So that's very good. It's been another big year for bulletins, more CVEs, more security researchers, more bug bounty hunters, people looking for vulnerabilities, and they're finding them. And so the bulletins go on and on. So again, I would remind everyone and all the members out there, make sure you've got good patching strategies. Try and apply the patches that are relevant to you as soon as you can. It is important, and it will help make you a harder target. Phishing sites, we're processing, well, it's almost up to 1,000 phishing sites a month now, and it's really important that members do report them because workforces are mobile, people travel. Your executive waking up Dubai one morning, seeing an email, clicking on it, obviating all the security you've put in place around email and collection. It's as simple as that to then set off a major incident. Incident types, just a reminder, there are so many incident types out there that you need to be aware of and you need to be protecting from, and we can provide you some assistance with essentially all of those incident types. So please, when you have an incident, report it. Make sure, if you're able, that you also report it in places like Acorn. While we don't have mandatory data breach legislation, it is important that you let people know that you are having problems so we can try and get at least some statistics around what companies and members are being affected and impacted by. Incident handling, incident response. So we have a service now called the Flying Squad. It's going very well. We started in December last year. We've managed some of the largest major incidents in the last 6 months across the country. Some have been newsworthy. Some have managed to stay out of the news for good or for bad. And we would just recognise from the membership, we will create a lot of collateral for you. And this is obviously one nice, easy to read guide about how you should navigate incident handling and incident response, things you should think about identifying your digital assets, understanding your cyber risks, developing an incident response plan. One of the things I would call out, incident response plans. Most people still don't have them. And those of you who do, most of them don't cut it. When the proverbial hits the fan, we have not had a major incident where we've gone into a company and they have followed their incident response plan. So if you do have an incident response plan, make sure it's something that will survive contact with the enemy. New improved services, we mentioned the MSINs. With membership growing, with services growing, our revenues are going, things are going very well. We're able to purchase, trade, etc., more and more threat intelligence feeds, and they are all being automated into our MSIN service. So that service will become more and more useful. The Flying Squad continues to go from strength to strength. Originally, we just had it as an ad hoc service where members could call us, and if they wanted to call a Flying Squad and we had the resources, we would go and do it. However, the popularity of that service has meant we now offer it as a retainer, where you can essentially pay us a fee, and we are contractually obliged to get to you within 24 hours anywhere around the country. So it's been a very popular service, and we do have our first retainer or members with a retainer Flying Squad. The Virtual Information Security Officer has helped a lot of members with a lot of specific issues and problems to solve, and that's been very good. And the AusCERT IRC channel has continued to be more and more useful as more and more members go on and participate and exchange information in real time. We've been stopping major phishing campaigns from moving across the country. Members have been great at writing their own filters, sharing with the community, and with ours, people are seeing that protection actually take effect and block or stop that phishing campaign from affecting their own organisation. Cyber insurance. This is quite an interesting topic for most CEOs and people on boards these days. It is time to consider what you're doing about cyber insurance. There are enough policies out there that are actually useful that you should consider them and understand how they can help you transfer some risk and mitigate some other risks for your organisation. So we've been working with major insurers across the country in the last 9 months. We hopefully have helped the way some of the policies are written, because some of them still are pretty unusable. There's not many scenarios where you'll actually be able to claim and get value out of them. And I'm pleased to announce we are now on the panels for several major global insurers and underwriters for cyber insurance policies, with a focus on cyber incident response. So why that's important for the membership is if you need to make a claim and you have a cyber incident, that essentially our costs will be easily recovered for you. So I'd like to think that's another way that we're providing value to the membership. Cybersecurity Survey. So AusCERT in conjunction with BDO intend to work together to produce an annual survey of Australian businesses with the intention of providing a new benchmark about the current state of cybersecurity and maturity within organisations. The current surveys that we see at the moment, we are trying to use, and we think there more needs to be done in that space. So we're going to work with BDO to do that. And we intend to release the survey in July, publish the first survey in November, and then do that on an annual basis. And we hope that that can provide enough data that companies can start using it as an index and start providing, so for example, insurers might be able to use some of that data about how to better assess risk when they take on a company and price a premium. Because at the moment there is no actuarial data and it's challenging for them. So that will be very interesting. We look forward to conducting that survey. And thank you all for attending and supporting the AusCERT conference. We had just under 400 people conduct training the last 2 days. The cyber incident handling workshop that I ran on Monday was dry at times, but everyone stayed along for the ride. And I want to thank everyone for participating, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And lastly, thank you to the sponsors and the speakers and everyone else behind the scenes who allow us to run an event of this size and hopefully of this value to everyone who attends. So thank you very much, and can you put your hands together for the sponsors for me? Thank you very much, and appreciate your support. Thanks, Adam.